Hello everyone, I hope all are doing good. So in this video, this video is a continuation of module 3. In the previous videos we have seen the memory which is used in embedded systems. Then coming to this video lecture, in this video lecture we'll study about the sensors, actuators, then LED 7 segment LED display, then stepper motor here. So coming to the first topic, that is sensors and actuators. So what is meant by sensor? A sensor is a transducer device that detects and responds to some type of input from the physical environment. And the specific input could be light, heat, motion, moisture, pressure, or any one of the great number of other environmental phenomena here. So the changes in system environment or variables are detected by the sensors connected to the input port of the embedded system here. Now we'll see some of the examples where exactly the sensors are used here. So in the first example, the sensors which are used in a pedometer. So this sensor is called as an accelerometer sensor. So this sensor which counts the steps for pedometer, as you can see in the picture. So this is the accelerometer sensor which is used in the pedometer functionality. So this accelerometer sensor which counts the steps for the pedometer here. Now another example, the sensor which is used in the smart watch devices here. So these sensors are used in smart watch devices to measure the high intensity, and that sensor is called as an ambient light sensor here. So smart watches uses ambient light sensors to detect the surrounding light intensity and uses an electrical or electronic actuators circuit to adjust the screen brightness. Now coming to the actuator, an actuator is a transducer device. It can be mechanical or electrical, which converts signals to corresponding physical action. So the action will be in the motion here. And actuators act as an output device. So usually these actuators are connected to the output pin of the embedded systems here. If suppose the embedded system is designed for any controlling purpose here, the system will produce some changes in the controlling variables to bring the controlled variable to the desired value, and this can be achieved through the actuators here. So actuators which is connected to the output port of the embedded systems here. So for example, as we have seen in the previous example, the smart watches uses an ambient light sensors here. So these ambient light sensors will detect the surrounding light intensity here. Okay, and also it uses an electrical or electronic actuator circuit which adjusts the screen brightness according to the ambient light sensors data here. Now we'll see one scenario. In this scenario, suppose consider the house catches in a fire here, and we'll see the sensors and actuators will play an important role in this embedded system here. So these embedded systems which are used in home automation. Now considering a scenario that the home or a house which catches the fire here, so it uses the temperature sensors and the actuator here. So temperature sensor which detects the heat, okay, and after detecting the heat from the sensor will be sent to the actuator, and actuator which sends the detected signals to the control center here. So this control center sends the command to the sprinkler, and the sprinkler turns on and put off the flame here. So this is how the sensor and the actuator will play an important role in the embedded systems here. Now going to the difference between the sensors and actuators. A sensor is an input device. A actuator is an output device here. So usually the sensors are connected to the input port of an embedded system, and actuators are connected to the output port of an embedded system here. And a sensor which converts a physical parameter to an electrical output, and an actuator which converts an electrical signal received by the sensors to a physical output here. And a sensor is a device that detects events or changes in the environment and send the information to the another electronic device here. And an actuator is a component of a machine that is responsible for moving and controlling mechanisms here. And a sensor which helps to monitor the changes in the environment, and an actuator helps to control the environment or physical changes here. Now coming to LED, that is a light emitting diode. LED is an important output device for visual indication in any embedded systems here. LED can be used as an indicator for the status of various signals or situations. For example, LEDs are used in handheld embedded devices, which indicates the presence of power conditions like device on, battery low, or charging of battery here. A light emitting diode is a PN junction diode, and it contains an anode and a cathode here. So for proper functioning of LED, the anode should be connected to the positive terminal of the supply voltage, and the cathode should be connected to the negative terminal of supply voltage here. So this figure shows the ideal LED interface circuit shown in the figure, and this is the anode and this is the cathode. A resistor is used in the series between the power supply and the LED to limit the current through the LED here. Now, LEDs can be interfaced to the port pin of a processor or a controller in two ways. The first way is the anode is directly connected to the port pin of the processor or controller, and the port pin drives the LED here. The port pin is at the logic 1, that is logic high here. And the second way, that is a cathode of the LED is connected to the port pin and the anode to the supply voltage. So LED is turned on when the port pin is at logic 0 or logic low here. Now coming to the 7-segment LED display. The 7-segment LED display is an output device used for displaying alphanumeric characters. It contains 8 LED, that is light emitting diode segments, arranged in a special form. Out of 8 LED segments, 7 are used for displaying alphanumeric characters and 1 used for representing the decimal point here. And the figure explains the arrangement of LED segments in a 7-segment LED display. The LED segments are named as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and a decimal point, that is DP. Okay. For displaying 3, if I want to display 3, okay, so this is 3 should be displayed in 7-segment display. So the segments A, B, then C, then D and G should be lit, should be get on here. Now tell me, if I want to display character A, so which all the segments, LED segments should be get on? That is A, B, C, E, F and G. Okay, so this will display the character A onto the 7-segment display here. So sometimes this A is look like R also. Okay. Now the 7-segment LED displays are available in 2 different configurations, namely a common anode and a common cathode. In a common anode configuration, the anodes of the 8 segments are connected commonly, and in a common cathode configuration, 8 LED segments are shared a common cathode line here. Now we will consider one example, that is a optocoupler. Optocoupler is a solid state device to isolate 2 parts of a circuit here. And optocoupler combines an LED and a photo transistor in a single package here. In electronic circuits, an optocoupler is used for suppressing interference in data communication, circuit isolation, and high voltage suppression, simultaneous suppression, and signal intensification, etc. And optocouplers can be used in either input circuits or the output circuits here. The following figure shows or illustrates the usage of optocoupler in input circuit and output circuit of embedded system with a microcontroller as the system core here. So this optocoupler, that is IC-MCT2M. So here optocoupler IC-MCT2M is used as a input circuit and the output circuit of an embedded system with a microcontroller as the system core. The microcontroller is used as a AT89C51. So optocoupler is available as ICs for different semiconductor manufacturers. The MCT2M IC from a Fairchild Semiconductor is an example for optocoupler IC here. Now coming to the last part of this video, that is the stepper motor. A stepper motor is an electromechanical device which generates a discrete displacement, that is motion, in a response to the DC electrical signals here. A stepper motor produces a discrete rotations, it may be in the clockwise or anti-clockwise, in a response to the DC voltage applied to it. Applications of stepper motor, they are used widely in industrial embedded applications, consumer electronic products, and robotics control systems. And the paper feed mechanism of a printer or fax makes use of a stepper motor for its functioning here. The following figure shows the stator winding details of a stepper motor. It contains the 4 coils named as A, B, C and D here. And here energizing a coil winding creates an electromagnetic field with the north and south pole here. Okay, and the stator carries the magnetic field, and the magnetic field can be altered by sequentially energizing or stepping the stator coil, which generates the rotation motion here. Based on the coil winding arrangements, a two-phase stepper motor is classified into two. One is unipolar and another is the bipolar. A unipolar stepper motor contains two windings per phase, and the direction of rotation, that is clockwise or anti-clockwise, of a stepper motor is controlled by changing the direction of a current flow. And the coils are represented as A, B, C and D. A coils A and C carries a current in opposite direction for phase 1. Then similarly for B and D carries a current in opposite direction for phase 2 here. Now coming to the bipolar. A bipolar stepper motor contains single winding per phase. For reversing the motor rotation, the current flow through the windings is reversed dynamically, and it requires a complex circuit for current flow in reversal order here. The stepping of a stepper motor can be implemented in different ways by changing the sequence of activation of a stepper or stator windings here. The different stepping modes are the full step, the half step, then the wave step. In full step, two coils will be activated in each steps. So for example, a coil A and coil B is activated in step 1, and coil B and coil C is activated in step 2, and likewise coil C and coil D is activated in step 3, and step 4 coil A and coil D will be activated in full step here. Now coming to the wave step, one coil is activated in each step, that is coil A is activated in step 1, likewise coil B, coil C in the respective steps here. And a half step is a combination of a full step and a wave step here. Okay, so we'll see this working of the stepper motor with the other video. Okay.
Stepper motor is a brushless DC motor that rotates in steps. This is very useful because it can be precisely positioned without any feedback sensor, which represents an open-loop controller. The stepper motor consists of a rotor that is generally a permanent magnet, and it is surrounded by the windings of the stator. As we activate the windings step by step in a particular order and let current flow through them, they will magnetize the stator and make electromagnetic poles, respectively, that will cause propulsion to the motor. So that's the basic working principle of a stepper motor. There are several different ways of driving the stepper motor. The first one is the wave drive or single coil excitation. In this mode we activate just one coil at a time, which means that for this example of motor with 4 coils, the rotor will make full cycle in 4 steps. Next is the full step drive mode, which provides much higher torque output because we always have 2 active coils at a given time. However, this doesn't improve the resolution of the stepper, and again the rotor will make a full cycle in 4 steps. For increasing the resolution of the stepper, we use the half step drive mode. This mode is actually a combination of the previous 2 modes. Here we have 1 active coil followed by 2 active coils, and then again 1 active coil followed by 2 active coils, and so on. So with this mode we get double the resolution with the same construction. Now the rotor will make full cycle in 8 steps. However, the most common method of controlling stepper motors nowadays is the microstepping. In this mode we provide variable controlled current to the coils in a form of sine wave. This will provide smooth motion of the rotor, decrease the stress of the parts, and increase the accuracy of the stepper motor.
Okay, I hope you understood the working of a stepper motor. We'll come with some example. ULN 2803 is an octal peripheral driver array available for Texas Instruments and ST Microelectronics for driving a 5 voltage stepper motor, and this is a simple driving circuit. It can also be built using transistors, and the following circuit diagram illustrates the interfacing of a stepper motor through the driver circuit connected to the port pins of the microcontroller or processor here. Okay, now coming to the summary of this video. In this video we came across sensors and actuators. A sensor is a device that detects and responds to input from the physical environment, and different sensors like heat sensors, motion sensors, moisture sensor, pressure sensor, and the temperature sensor. And actuator is a device which converts signals to the corresponding physical action. Then we came across LED. LED is an output device used as an indicator for the status of various signals or situations. And we came across a 7-segment LED display. And lastly, the stepper motor. A stepper motor is an electromechanical device which generates motion in response to the DC electrical signals here. Thank you for watching this video. Any doubts, any clarification, please post your comments in discussion forum in Moodle. Okay, stay home, stay safe.